research scholars, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of University of Science and Technology Meghalaya and EAD Foundation, we welcome you all to the orientation program for the PhD scholar of January 2021 batch. And we all know that USTM, no doubt, we are an infant university, but under the guidance of Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and Honorable Chancellor Sir, we have been working relentlessly in the field of research, especially in the issues related to the Northeast India. And we hope that the new batch of research scholars will also contribute towards the same, addressing the important research areas. And without much ado, I think I will now request Dr. Ajmal Barbhuiya, Academic Register USTM, to kindly present the welcome address. Dr. Barbhuiya.
Thank you, Mezzavin ma'am. Very good morning to one and all present here. Honorable Chancellor, Shri M. Hawk sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor G.D. Sharma sir, Professor Ajoy Kumar from IIT Guwahati from Department of Biosciences and Bioengineering, Professor Niranjan Roy sir, Head Department of Economics, Assam University, Silchar, Dr. R.K. Sharma sir, Dr. Bolendra Das sir, and our colleagues, deans of schools, faculty members, and most importantly, our newly joined research scholars. It is really a moment of great happiness for all of us, despite all the challenges faced by the whole world. And we in India, including the university, where the education system, as yesterday our Honorable Vice Chancellor was saying, that the education system has been shaken by the corona pandemic. But we are so happy to inform you that in our university, ever since the lockdown was introduced, we were able to conduct all the activities through online mode under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Mehboob Haq sir, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor G.D. Sharma sir, and the commitment of our people at all levels. And today we are really happy to welcome the new batch of research scholars who have recently taken admission and joined our university. The objective of this orientation program is to give them a new direction and proper guidance and motivation to start their research career. And today we are really honored and privileged to have amongst us Professor Ajoy Kumar sir from IIT Guwahati and Professor Niranjan Roy sir from Assam University, Silchar, whose presence is really encouraging for us, and their words of wisdom and enormous experience in the field of teaching and research would surely give our research scholars an insight and new direction towards pursuing their research program very, very successfully. So I will not take much time. We have with us our eminent academicians and distinguished scientists, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor G.D. Sharma sir, who will be also addressing in this gathering. So I welcome all of you again on behalf of Honorable Vice Chancellor sir and Honorable Chancellor sir to this wonderful meeting. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mezzavin.
Thank you, Dr. Barbhuiya. So without much ado, with the welcome address, I would now like to request Dr. Ajay Kumar B. Kunnu Makara, Professor and the Department of Bioscience and Bioengineering, IIT Guwahati, to kindly address us on the research methodology in science discipline. So over to you.
So thank you so much, and very good morning to all of you, and a happy new year to all of you. And I would like to thank Sharma sir for inviting me to this orientation program. And first of all, I would like to congratulate all the newly joined PhD students for joining this PhD program at the USTM. And Shala is, how many PhD students are there this year joining?
Sir, around 70 students have joined. Around
70 students. So they are all online now.
They are spread over different disciplines, from social science, humanities, from business sciences, from science, applied sciences, and biological sciences.
Great, great. Yes. So shall I, I have a small presentation. So shall I share that presentation? I think that would be
yes,
nice.
Yes.
So it's showing host disabled participant screen sharing. So can you enable
So
that?
we are asking our IT personnel to enable it.
Sure.
Hello.
Okay.
जी बताएं परमार साहब। अच्छा परमार साहब, ऐसा है कि अभी हम एक मीटिंग में हैं, वेबिनार में। शाम को बात करें तो अच्छा रहेगा। ठीक।
So I hope you can see the slides.
Yes,
Yes.
PowerPoint
Yes.
slides.
Yes.
Okay, so once again, I would like to congratulate all the PhD students who are joining for this PhD program at the USTM. So my topic was given as research methodology, but this research methodology, you will get some notebooks and those things and coursework during your coursework also. So I will not touch much about the research methodology. However, what I'm trying to speak in the next few minutes is what are the important points to remember while doing, doing your PhD. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you, all of you, that the only thing important in the world is time. So if you lose time, you will not get it back. So the most important thing in the world is time. So if you waste even a second or a minute, that you will not get it back. So that is the most important thing every PhD student should remember during their PhD and life. Second most important thing is that, you joined for your PhD program. Yes, that, at the end of the PhD, you will get a certificate and you will be called as doctor, and the world will recognize you as a as an expert in research. However, you should make sure that whatever the research activities you are doing, that should focus on the benefits of the society. If society is not getting benefited from your research, there is no point in doing that research. So it can be any field, whether it is humanities or social science or bioscience or cancer biology or computer science, anything. So the society should get benefit from your research. That is very, very important. Next thing, there is no difference between the research in different areas. Means one research is better, other research is not better, like that. No, all the research are research and are very, very important, and it has the same level of importance in the world, whether it is social science or humanities or bioscience or electronics or like physics, mathematics, any research. So these research all are equal, and there is no nothing like that. One area is better than other area of research. So another important thing I want to tell you, that go big or go home. What does it mean? Anyway, you have selected or choose your field for research. So try to do something big. Okay, so that should have high impact to the society. Because you are spending 4 to 5 years for research, and if you are doing very small things, not big things, it is not good, because you are also spending a lot of time, lot of energy, lot of money. So it should lead to very high impact research. That is very, very important. Sorry. So that is the message I want to give to all of you. Go big or go home. Okay. Next, what are the things required when you do PhD? First thing is the dedication. You should be highly dedicated for your research. Then you should be highly determined, for your research. You should not, like leave your research in between. You should be determined. Many, during this PhD programs, I have, listened to many students. They complain like, okay, my experience is not working. Like 3 months I'm working on, but I'm not good getting the results and those things. And if you leave that research, because of these things, it is not good. So you should be determined. You want to achieve some goal. That is why you are, coming to research or doing research. So you should be highly determined while doing research. Then hard work. Hard work is very, very important. If you do hard work, I'm sure that nobody can beat you in the world. So hard work is highly, highly, highly important during your PhD and research. And I always tell my students, at least spend 10 hours in a day for research or in the lab. So many people ask me, why 10 hours in a day? Okay. So it's very interesting. So you join for your PhD program, and so it may take like 4 to 5 years to complete your PhD program generally. This is the average time. So if, and another question is that why it is taking 4 to 5 years? So if you spend 10 hours in a day for research and 6 days in a week, so you'll be spending around 60 hours for research. And suppose you are spending like 300 days for research. So that means you'll be spending around 3,000 hours for research. And 4 years like that, if you spend, it will be equal to 10,000 to 12,000 hours in 4 years. So if you work like that for 4 years, you will be expert in, highly expert in this field. So that is what is required while doing PhD. So there was an interview with Sachin Tendulkar. So here the interviewer asked him, so how many hours you generally spent for practicing? So he was telling around 10 hours he spent per day and almost 4 to 5 years. So every field, any field, or every field, if you want to be expert in that field, you should be spending at least 10 hours per day. And if you work like that for 4 years, you will be, highly expert in that field. That is very, very, very important. That is why PhD generally we say it takes 4 to 5 years. Now you know why some people are taking more than 4 years for PhD or 5 years. Some people takes like 8 years also to complete their PhD. And some people, some students, they take even 3.5 years instead of 4 years. So now you know why you are getting, they are finishing in 3.5 years or 3 years, or they take 6 to 7 years for finishing their PhD. But the average is considered as 4 years. And many students, it's very, very important. If you want to be expert in this field, in your field of research, you should read at least minimum of 2 publications per day. And that publication also that are related to your research per day. And those publications also you should select from a very, very, very good journal. And you go through the publications carefully, and then how they did that work, and what are things they're mentioning, and what are the gaps they are addressing in research. Those things you should note it down in your notebook. This is very, very, very important. So if you read 2 publications per day, in 300 days, you will be reading around 600 publications. And for years, it will be around 2,000, more than 2,000 publications. So if you read that many publications per, in your PhD or during your research, you can achieve a lot of things, in research. And this is what is actually required for research and PhD. And another important thing, do not waste reagents and consumables. It depends on the lab. So, some students say, oh, that lab is rich and this lab is not rich. Even though lab is rich, do not waste the reagents. Even in our area, 100 microliter of an antibody costs 30,000 rupees. And if you, by mistake, if you drop it down that vial, you will be losing around 30,000 rupees. And it's a lot of money. See, if you pay 30 rupees, you can get a meal. So if you are, like wasting this 30,000 rupees, that means you are killing the meals of almost 1,000 meals. So that is not right. So you should be very, very, very careful while doing PhD and or doing research, and do not waste the reagents and consumables. Use whatever you need only for your research. Otherwise, do not use it or do not waste these reagents. And many students ask me, see, Northeast is not that highly developed and there are so many problems there. It's not like that. Northeast is a highly developed area also. And if you want to achieve anything, you can achieve in Northeast. Definitely. I mean, there are some experience I have, a couple of experience I can tell you. So this is, the profile of one of my students. She finished a PhD last year. So her name is Devasha Bordolai, and she's originally from Jorhat. Okay, and she joined for PhD in 2014. So after her BTech, she in biotechnology, she joined in my lab for PhD. Okay, so she worked in the lab for 4.5 years. And whatever I told her in the beginning, she followed the same thing. Okay, so read a lot of publications, work at least 10 hours per day, and those things. So finally, 2019, she was awarded the PhD. Okay, so when she was awarded the PhD, she had 65 publications, and the total impact of her publications were around 200. Can you imagine? You cannot see this kind of performance in any other parts of India. Believe me. Can you tell me a PhD student getting this many publications during their PhD? I'm not talking about the research articles. Research articles is few, but she wrote many review articles and book chapters, and she published a book on cancer cell chemoresistance and chemosensitization. This was published by World Scientific Singapore. Can you imagine? So she did a lot of work, and she, whatever I told her, she followed the same thing. And see, this today I have, took a snapshot of her Google Scholar. So you can see she's now she has 1,520 citations with an H index of 22. All these from our lab only. And for 4.5 years, so she worked, and this is the productivity she showed. And the interesting thing is that 2019, yeah, January, she submitted her thesis. So when one day I was in my office around 7:30 evening. Okay, so what happened actually? She came to my office and told, "Sir, I have given my thesis for printing. So now I want to apply for postdoc positions." I scolded her. Why you didn't apply, in advance? You should have applied at least 4 months ago. You start applying for these postdoc positions. But I told her, all the best. You immediately start applying for these positions. After 1 hour, she rushed to my office. Around 8:30, sir, I was sending, I sent around 5-6 applications, and I sent one application, the last application, and immediately after 4 minutes, they called me. So she sent this application to Vistar Institute of Philadelphia, USA. Within 4 minutes, they didn't even email, but they called to her phone, mobile phone, and told her they want to interview her now. So she, through Skype. So she told me, I don't have any Skype ID now. Sir, what should I tell them? So I told to her, okay, don't worry, you create your Skype ID and inform them that, tomorrow they can interview you. So she informed them, but they didn't agree. They told now itself they want to interview her. And then they did a telephonic interview. Immediately they offered her the position. And now she is in Vistar Institute. She is doing as a postdoc fellow in Vistar Institute, Philadelphia. It is one of the oldest and prestigious institute in USA. So a girl from Jorhat, are able to do this. And many people in the mainland, other parts of India are not able to do this much. So what I'm saying is that it is your interest and hard work. That is the most important thing. I was very happy even during when I was giving this presentation. She called from USA, but I disconnected. So I will call her later because maybe she wants to talk to me something. Okay, so this is what one experience I have. So very good students are there. So if you do hard work, you can also do like this. Similar to her. 65 publications, and she will be getting another 10-15 publications in next 1 year. So from her lab, current lab also, she's working on DNA vaccines, and she by end of this year she might be getting total number of 80 publications. And believe me, she's just 29 now. So can you imagine? So if you want, you can also do it. So this is another student, Padmavati Ganesh. So in 2012, I joined as a faculty at IIT Guwahati. And then 2012, I hired one girl student, Monisha. She also did very good work, and she's now a team leader at Reddy's Laboratory at Hyderabad. So then I was trying to, because she was a girl, and so I was trying to get a boy for, in my laboratory. So I was interviewing many students. Then I was interviewing this student, Padmavati Ganesh. She was from Tamil Nadu. So she finished her BTech program and then immediately applied for PhD. Okay. So what happened actually, when she applied, she was 20 and a half. That's it. Because just after PhD, she came for BTech, she came for PhD. Believe me, she also did same way like Devasha. And then she also have around 70 publications. And by 25, she finished her PhD. And she is also doing very good. You can see, if you go through her profile, you can see, around 65 publications she has. And I told her to write a review on fusion genes and cancer. So first she told me, yeah, she has collected all the information and told me, yes, sir, we can write this review. Then I asked her to try to collect more information, and finally she collected a lot of information, and finally ended up in a book. And it is again published by World Scientific. Its name is Fusion Genes and Cancer. Interesting thing is that she took around 6 to 8 months and wrote 80% of this book. And this is the only reference book of fusion genes and cancer available in the world. So if you want to do it, yes, you can do it. But what is required for that? It is dedication, determination, and hard work. Do I have another couple of minutes more? Can I speak another couple of minutes more?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I try to say that you focus on good quality research and publications and you do hard work. And a very important thing during your PhD, maintain an official laboratory notebook and where you write every day whatever you have done, what are the experiments you have done, everything you have to document there. And another mistake many PhD students do, they don't store their data in safe places. So this is very, very important. Your raw data and other data and the results you have to store at multiple safe places. So if your laptop is crashed, at least you can get it from your external hard drive like that. So you will not lose your time. This is very, very important during PhD and research also. And another thing, document all the important steps of your experiments and all the details of your experiments in your notebook. It is again very, very important. And another thing, your research should be highly reproducible. So how you somebody can evaluate your research? Most of the time, people evaluate the research based on your citations and in publications, citations and incidents. Citations is that once you publish your article, how many other articles cite put your article in the refer your article in their publications. That is known as citations. If you check the Nobel laureates, they will have at least 2 or 3 articles with more than 2,000 citations. So you can check it. Very, very important. And H-index. So how many times? So if 10 times 10 articles are cited, that means the H-index is 10. So H-index is the way to evaluate, another way to evaluate the, your work. So that is very, very, very important. And there are many agencies in the world, they evaluate the scientist and, based on their H-index and citations. For example, this is Michael Cairn. He is working on our field. So you can see his citations are 284,322 today. So he is getting 14,000 to 15,000 citations per year. That means he is getting at least 50 citations per day. Means his research is cited in around 40 to 50 other publications per day. And his H-index is 258. So this is the way. He is the 30th or 40th scientist, highly influential scientist in the world. Same thing, I worked with a professor who was originally from India. His name is Professor Agarwal. He has also a lot of citations. 151,432 citations, which an H-index of 201. So this is very, very important. Why I'm telling that actually this, he is the most cited Indian scientist in the world, and his position is now 75th. Most highly cited or influential scientist in the world. So this is the way people will evaluate your citation or your research work. So try to publish as much as possible and try to get try to help the society and try to get if your research is very good, you will get more citations and you will get a very good H-index. And that is one very, very important, during PhD and your research and to achieve, higher positions during your career. So publications are very, very important. And whenever you publish, do any work, you should publish that in a very good journal. It's very, very important. And all the best. I hope all of you will achieve higher, bigger heights during your PhD program, and all the best for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now I would like to, I would now like to request Professor Niranjan Roy, Professor, Department of Economics, Assam University, Silchar, to kindly go forward with his speech on research methodology in social science and humanities. Over to Professor Roy, sir.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. So, respected Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of very emerging, one of the emerging university of Northeast India, USTM. Recently, in one interview, I have come across many students from USTM, and really the quality was really very good. And I congratulate the authorities of USTM for looking at the issues of quality product. This is a very, very important. Next, I congratulate all the PhD students who are a part of this particular batch of 2021 from the USTM of different departments. Though I don't have any specific data of division of across the different branches of PhD students, science and humanities and social sciences. But I understand it is a mixed batch of students, those who are attending this program from across disciplines. Now, I really express my gratitude to Professor Ajay Kumarji. It's a really wonderful deliberation from your side, citing some of the examples of young achievers. And one thing I must say that Northeast is a treasure house for both the resources for researcher and also the researchers, the human capabilities. So both sides, we have the resources for research, in the biological sciences, in the social sciences, humanities, across disciplines, and also the kind of human capabilities that we have in all the nook and corners of Northeast India. And you have already given, cited some of the examples of young achievers from Northeastern states. Thank you very much, Professor Ajay Kumarji, for sharing, because these are the spots, these are the heights that we need to highlight among our young students so that they can be motivated for their journey for this undertaking research. Now, having said that, research in social sciences, of course, it was a dream for the scientific world, mainly the scholars during 1950s and 60s, with the evolution of behavioral revolution in the world, and this undertaking a scientific study for research for different branches of studies. That was a particular objective in 1950s and 60s. But the social sciences, they could not easily find verification because of the lack of experiment, because of the lack of application and predictable methodologies. And in fact, methodology was a very important part of the entire development phase, and which is itself an independent and significant area. Now, why I am highlighting this important issue, the difference between pure natural science, biological science, and social sciences, because in knowledge in social sciences, basically organized in terms of theory building. So the concepts are one of the important elements of social theory. And the social theory is like a map of the social world. And it helps people to visualize the different complexities in the world, and explains why things happen. That is a very important thing. Why things happen. That is the important emphasis in social science research. And broadly, we follow the similar pattern of other branches of knowledge, say for example, formulation of the research problem, execution of the research, writing the report, formulation of title, identification of the problem, theoretical and conceptual framework, review of literature, identification of objectives, research questions, hypotheses, choosing methodology, and all that. And then the collection of data, analysis of data, the writing of the report. So these are the broad spectrum of the research that we need to emphasize in social science research also. And basically, if we try to identify the whole purpose of research is basically it attempts to find systematically and with the support of demonstration or demonstrable fact the answer to a question or the resolution of a problem. So identification of problem, research problem, is the first step of any research. And those who are the part of this coursework phase of research, I think immediately after your coursework, in some universities, in case of our university, we have a paper called dissertation paper, and in the coursework stage itself. And that particular paper also gives you guideline how to identify a research problem, which is the first step in the research. So identification of the problem, it should be in a perspective, in a suitable theoretical backdrop, and also in the backdrop of available empirical studies. And we need to justify the relevance of the proposed study in the context. The contextual, context is very, very important. Now, if our study is location specific, say for example, as I said, the Northeast is a treasure house. So if the study is Northeast specific, then we have to justify the selection of the particular location and the key questions and the conception of the problem. Then the significance of the problem, which basically depends on the likely contribution in theory building. So constructing concept is also is a very, very important part, and it occupies a major role in formulation of research proposal. Now, having said that, as I said, that introduction of a scientific mode of analysis of society, it was a dream of social scientists, and 16th century mainly it emphasized with the uncertainty surrounding the study of social life. Now, social sciences is full of debate. With a difference from the natural and physical sciences and the biological sciences, is full of debate, dispute, and contradictory interpretations. So the concepts are the building block of theory. If we attempt to undertake a scientific study, scientific analysis, now this lies at the core of social science theory in developing methodology, scientific methodology for that. And it ultimately provided substance to theories, and which form the basis of measurement, which influence the selection of cases. Now, if you look at some of the branches of the social sciences, say for example, economics, we have econometric tools. We have come up with econometric tools which we use for analysis of our data. And in fact, the data acquirement, collection of data itself, it needs to be decided on the basis of scientific methodology. And that is also another very important part of the entire exercise. So it is necessary to examine the classic necessary and sufficient condition which to approach the concept building. So building the entire concept, it depends on both necessary and sufficient condition, and there's a cause and effect relationship. So that is another very important part of the social science research. And the researcher has to deepen understanding of a concept mainly to identify the assumptions, because in our social sciences we depend on assumptions. And the another very important issues I want to highlight related to concept building again is to combine both quantitative and qualitative features, because many a times on the basis of our analysis or the collection of data, both from qualitative and quantitative features in most branches of the social sciences and humanities, we depend both on quantitative and qualitative aspect. And also we try to combine both qualitative and quantitative data. And in this era of social movements, as I said, mainly starting from 16th century, and we only emphasized mainly on scientific methods of collecting information or the research studies during 1950s and 60s. And the various social movements, again, say for example, globalization, the environmental degradation, say for example, human rights, the movements for human rights, rights of women, for assertion of identity, and all these actually added new dimensions to the already complex social reality. And as a social science researcher, we have to deal with all these social phenomena, and we have to capture and we have to analyze these social realities with scientific norm and scientific methodologies. That is a important part of whole exercise of research in social sciences. And to face the challenge, there have been theorizing end of history, quote unquote, it's called end of history, the clash of civilization, declaring the achievement of liberalism or fighting with created enemies. And one range of examples which I can cite from the social sciences, say for example, the welfare state, the revolution, international dispute, war, democracy, to illustrate the theoretical and practical issues of concept, the construction and use, then conceptual framework. All this actually related to examining the classic necessary and sufficient condition. So for us, the necessary and sufficient conditions becomes a very important part of the whole exercise. And ultimately, our objective, and these needs to be very, very clearly and concisely formulated, because we deal with human behavior, we deal with societal context, we deal with social movements, we'll deal with social reality. And in this entire exercise, any topic, if you select, then it need to be clearly and concisely formulated. The major objectives of research in social sciences, mainly it include verification or testing of existing facts. That is a very important part of our objective. Discovering new facts, we may try to discover new facts also. Interrelationship, causal explanation arrived at within a theoretical framework. And this depends on the development of new scientific tools, concepts, and theories. So any study, if it is a problem related to society from the northeastern states specific, the issues of ethnic identities, the issues of community orientation, the issues of inclusiveness, inclusive growth and development. I mean, all these actually depends on the scientific use of scientific methodologies, and that is a critical challenge for all branches of sociologists and social sciences. And we have to depend many times on observation techniques. And I mean, in most major part of social sciences, the observation techniques becomes a very important tool which actually used for gathering information and acquiring both quantitative and qualitative data. And I am sure that all the researchers, after your completion of your this coursework, you will definitely identify a particular problem and try to focus on a particular problem, go deeper into that particular problem without actually taking a wide-ranging issues with a or not giving proper justice to that particular issues. So go try to select a particular problem, try to identify a particular problem, and go deeper into that particular problem, be it from a particular society context even, because in many situations we identify a problem which is location specific. Let it be location specific also, and come out with a result which will the society will be get benefited, as Professor Ajay Kumar ji has rightly pointed out, that what the society will get, because ultimate aim of all this scientific understanding and scientific research is to find out something so that society can be benefited, because the whole idea of entire world is to have a welfare state, and that particular context of welfare state, we need to, as an individual, we need to contribute for that particular context. With this, I congratulate all the researchers, those who are part of this 2021 batch of USTM, and I wish you all the best. And I am thankful to the authorities of the USTM for inviting me in this very, very important orientation program for research scholars. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And both our experts have given a very wider picture, and a very important issues has been brought up today, especially for the research scholars who will be venturing in their journey of research from now on. And we hope the scholars will be equally benefited from both the deliberations. I would now like to request Dr. R.K. Sharma, Honorable Advisor, USTM, to kindly address the gathering. Sir.
Good morning. I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. Honorable Chancellor, USTM, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, respected our guest Professor Kunnumakara from IIT Guwahati, and Professor Rai from Assam University, Dr. B.K. Das, Director, Administration, USTM, Academic Registrar, Dr. Azmal Barumia, Mehzibin, and our faculty, deans of different schools, faculty members, and our most today respected our research scholars who has been admitted to this university recently. First of all, I would like to congratulate the newly admitted research scholars for selecting this PhD program in our university. The PhD program, this orientation program, is to introduce introduce yourself to know about the course, that is about research methodology, courses, computer applications, and other related to your topic of research. All of you will have to attend this coursework from today itself, where you will be acquainted with the research methodology, computer application course paper related to your topic of research. These will equip a scholar with the complex details of research work, leading to your PhD work. You will be able to utilize the expertise earned here even after completion of this research. After all, this research is an arduous task. You have to take it very seriously. Some of you might be wondering as to its academic utility after completing your PhD work also, because in different field, you will feel that, oh yes, during our research orientation, research methodology, and these things will be we taught during this course of work. My appeal that I am sure that you will definitely find the coursework academically useful and stimulating. Please remember that on the basis of whatever will be taught and discussed in these days, beginning from today onwards, will help you in clearing coursework examination. Therefore, my sincere advice to you all that be serious from today and should not neglect it. My appeal also to all of you made for these research scholars to select your research topic after consultation with your respected guide, that your research outcome will benefit our society. The poor and needy people will get. Otherwise, after submission of your thesis, it will be in your library or in your bookshelf. Society should get something out of your research. Because this is a new university, it is very young. Hope our scholars will get the benefits from this university. And again, I appeal so that your research output, essence of your research output should spread to all over the world. With these few words, I just conclude my speech. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to invite Professor G.D. Sharma, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, USTM, and an eminent scientist of the nation, to kindly address the gathering. Sir.
Thank you very much, Mehjabeen. In today's our orientation course, our Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Mehbubul Haq, our esteemed experts, Professor Ajay Kumar Mukaran, Professor Niranjan Roy, representing two stream sciences and social sciences, Professor Dr. R.K. Sharma, advisor to USTM, Dr. Bolan Kumar Das, Director Administration, Dr. Ajmal Barbuya, Registrar Academics, all our respected deans from different schools, head of the departments, guides, and the newly admitted scholars. I, on behalf of university and on my own behalf, extend very warm welcome to all the newly admitted scholars and wish them all the best wishes for a happy, prosperous, and healthy New Year 2021. I was just listening very valuable suggestions as well as in the lectures delivered by Professor Ajay Kumar from IIT Guwahati and Professor Niranjan Roy from Assam University, that how in this lecture they have given that so much scope for research for those who are working in Northeast, especially in USTM, because in USTM for us first is quality, not the quantity. I may mention here that nearly 150 applications were received, but we have conducted examinations after getting the number of seats available. And in that examination, interview, interaction, only about 40% students could get success to get admission to this PhD program. So first criteria for USTM is, as per UGC regulation, go for all those parameters of quality which will provide the university a better research outcome. So those students who have got this admission in USTM, they have been found that they are having much better their IQ as well as their interest to pursue the researches. The Northeast, as has been also told, is a treasure for scholars, because Professor Ajay Kumar has shown two very lively examples from Northeast and India who are excelling at international level. Miss Bordloy, having so much quality work, publishing so good papers, having so high index, H index, and citation. Another example of B.B. Agrawal, who has been working on natural product, for which Northeast is one hot spot for biodiversity. And this is really, whether it is a social science or the science or biological science or any branch we have, or even commerce, we have this treasure which is still unexploited, and there is so much scope for any problem for which we want to find the solutions. And both our esteemed experts, they have told that whatever research we do, it should be relevant to society, because ultimately our aim of research is to find or to see those theories whether they are applicable to this region, because they may be the region is specific. If region is specific, what could be the modifications relevant to our researches in this region that could be worked out, or how this knowledge can also be added to solve the problems related to humanity, to solve the problems related to our business. And I think this is also keeping in view for the first time that in spite of this COVID and all these things, India has emerged as one of the leading center in production of vaccine. Earlier, no single vaccine was produced in India, though we had CDRI, and not even a single drug has come out from India. But because of this, our support, awareness, and the scientists, they are working day and night to solve this problem of this natural disaster or the pandemic, COVID pandemic. The first time vaccine has come out from India. So that depends that how much time we put for the research. Professor Ajay Kumar gave about 10 hours. So if we want to put the scale that, okay, what is the international scale for research and what is national and regional? So we can say about 14 to 16 hours per day is international scale. If we want to have the international research, that needs 14 to 16 hours per day. If we want a good quality national research, then about 10 to 12 hours, or you can also put 8 hours. And if you want to have in regional one, then 4 to 6 hours. So we can put ourselves that how much time we are giving for research, and then we can assess where do we stand, what is our benchmark of research. And that is one of the reasons why Professor B.B. Agrawal is having more than 2 lakh citations. Just imagine, it is really very high citation. And some of our researchers, they do not have even 5 citations. So the time has gone now that when people used to say by mouth only which research is good, now we have the measurement. And that is how it is called that how to remove those lies, myths by research, quantifying, not only by supporting by mouth. So this helps the students to understand. That is why before they actually start their work, this exposure to orientation, to those stalwarts in their own fields, then to give them exposure for about one semester about the methodology. That is how, to get the international recognition in research, UGC has made compulsory that those who clear only research methodology course, minimum 2 papers, their PhD will be recognized. If PhD is without the research methodology coursework, then PhD is not recognized for getting the jobs in teaching. So that means this is also one of the criteria that the universities, they have research methodology course. Now, in this direction, we have recently brought the change that we have 4 papers: research methodology 1, research methodology 2, then recent advances in the subject concern where the scholar is going to pursue his research. And the 4th paper is review of literature or literature review. So that the broad, because Dr. Ajay Kumar and Dr. Niranjan both have said that nowadays researches are not only confined to your topic, but they are also having broad-based interdisciplinary approach, multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary, because you cannot only confine to a smaller area. You want to have the quality of researches. So there will be methodology, basic related to computers, applications, how you can make presentations, and analysis. Because collecting data is one part, but how honestly you collect the data, that is why the ethics have come now, very importantly, the scientific ethics. So this will be one of the part we are going to add one unit. Honesty in collecting data, honesty in using methodology, honesty in result, as well as publishing. And that is why we will be exposing what is the plagiarism, why plagiarism has become necessary in today's world of technology, because it has been seen that many researchers, they have taken, borrowed, stolen the data or the research from abroad or from others, and they have been, even the senior people, they have been now caught. So this is very important to give exposure to our youngsters, that they have to have their originality, thinking in originality. There is no doubt of so much problems, so many problems, and everyday new problems. So these problems, how we can identify, for that literature review is important, because literature review gives us the strength to analyze and also to summarize. And during this process, when we do a lot of review of literature, then we've also come to know what are the gaps. And this helps us in finding and developing our synopsis or plan of work. And also, if we have made good literature review, this is also helpful in writing the thesis. Those students who are not able to do the literature review properly, their literature is weak, and their identification of problem is also not having the importance to either regional level or to the national level. And therefore, they are unable to solve the problem or suggest the solution to the problem. And that is one of the reasons why, in spite of so many PhDs coming out, very few are relevant to create business or to create that knowledge which can bring the entrepreneurship or business or add values to the existing knowledge. So these are some of the basic things which our scholars will take into account, that why they are, first of all, want to do research, why research is necessary. So one could be just academic purpose to develop theories, to find the new concepts, but main thing is to see, to add to the knowledge which is existing, and also to create the importance of your knowledge in creating business. For example, if some disease is there in our region, what could be the best approach in terms of managing disease, in terms of treated disease, or in terms of finding what could be the genetical part on this. A multiple approach is required. So that is how we say that research is very important to find these solutions. And these solutions give business. Because nowadays, it is very important that when we come to a closure aspect of solution, that becomes the intellectual property right. And therefore, we have to also think that for our region, lot of knowledge has been taken from the traditional people, from the traditional knowledge. Without giving any documentation, we are liable to lose this knowledge. So, lot of knowledge in the form of unorganized sectors is available as traditional knowledge. What could be the approach of our research to bring more preciseness, more scientific analysis, make it more transparent so that it could be reproducible? It could also be giving more targeted solution, and in this way we can bring those exposure to those communities also. We can also get them patented for community benefit, not only for our own, but community knowledge can also be patented, as has been done for Silent Valley, for the community of the tribal community which were using a treatment for malaria, that has been patented. So to protect our knowledge as well as to create new knowledge and to find the emerging problems. Say for example, now we are having a lot of new problems coming. Use of technology, as has been told by Dr. Ajmal, that has helped us in conducting our classes regularly, in conducting our examinations. This has helped. But on the other hand, this technology has also created problem of cyber security. How to protect our data? Because we are using today Zoom, but it has come to the notice and that Zoom is stealing our all data. Whatever we are speaking, whatever problem we are identifying, these problems are taken by Chinese, and they come with the solution and sell those solutions to our country. So we have to also see, can we have our Indian apps which can launch this kind of meeting? So Government of India has developed that some of the one of the app, but this has not become so popular. Even this some of those small solutions which our people are having, these are not yet patented. So I feel that now the time has come when the scholars start thinking in the university system that how their knowledge can give the solutions to the society. And once you reach to the solutions, then only you can say that it can be patented. For example, for corona, this coronal was developed by our Ayurvedic system. But since it was not targeted and it was not reproducible, it could not be patented. So keep it in mind that the traditional knowledge which has no targeted effect cannot also be patented. It is for us now to see that refinement of the knowledge reaching to the point-oriented preciseness can only give our patents. And now the time is, the patent is one of the quality parameters to determine the research quality. Citation is one, impact factor or H index, but how many patents are coming out of the research, that is equally important. The thing comes when we are coming for the PhD scholars, as a scholar, in our mind, there are few things. First is getting job, because those who have cleared NET or those who are going to do PhD to get a job in academics or scientific line, so they want to do the research at a limited time. But Professor Ajay Kumar has rightly said that the research is at least in 4 to 5 years. A systematic, repeatable
Submitting survey.
is important. So I'm sure, and our Honorable Chancellor has joined. So welcome to Mahbubul Haq. When you have joined, you were busy in other activities because we were told that, but you will be joining. So thank you very much for giving your precious time to our scholars. They will feel happy and encouraged by your presence. So the thing comes that a university like USTM, which has created so many facilities, whether it is library, one of the best quality of library is we are having more than 70,000 volumes. We are having all e-journals and online resources are available. And recently, sophisticated instrumentation facility has been developed, for which a scientific officer has been appointed. And as Professor Ajay Kumar was telling, that today's research is going to the precision, and in going for precision, your this library as well as the instrumentation play very important role, because then only you can find the solution and find the gaps of any problem. So I am sure those scholars who are joining USTM, they will find that so much facility with so many our expertised guides which are available, but only thing, the quality is the main our approach. And to maintain this, we are having regularly the progress report presentation. To also regulate and also monitor their researches, we invite experts from outside, one external experts in each progress report presentation. And this is done from very beginning, preparation of synopsis by review of the experts, as well as when the presentations at different levels, and when the thesis is going to be submitted, pre-submission is done. And these are all done in the open forum, so that the suggestions can come from all sides and the thesis quality can be enhanced. This is one of the reasons that recently our very good quality publications have been from some of the departments, even up to 15, 16, 18 impact factors. So I must congratulate all those guides that they have been taking this quality as their foremost criteria to publish the papers. And this has helped us that I was yesterday going to prepare the H index for the university. H index is increasing now. It is going to be 25 to 30, 35 like that, which is very good. And this all is very much related to our scholars. So as I said, that more than number, quality of scholars, quality of research is more important for USTM. And that is one of the reasons that consistently from very beginning, the quality of scholars, quality of our graduates have found place in different central universities, in IITs, not only at national level, but also at international level. So USTM name has gone to different countries, and we are getting feedback from them that the quality of their teaching, learning, and research is maintained. So I hope that our new batch of the 2021 January will also follow strictly those quality parameters which USTM has laid down through various policies. And I can only assure that all kinds of help will be available, whether it is related to your journals, to your other books, or to your expertise, because we have signed MOUs with more than 80 organizations, including central universities, research institutes, industries, and recently with IBM, which has provided us free platform, even for placement. So you need not to worry for your job after doing your quality work. More than 4,000 students we have got registered, and they have assured 12,000 jobs to our students. So that part, I think, should not be in our mind. In our mind, only our aim should be to do the quality research work and continuously publish. I am happy that Professor Ajay Kumar told that number of publications. We are talking only about 2 publications to allow a thesis submission. No, now 2 should not be restricted. It should be more publications. That also shows how laborious you are in your research and how you continuously you are having proactiveness towards your interest in researches. So I once again welcome to USTM to all the newly joined scholars and assure on behalf of university that all facilities will be extended to you in doing your research, and we are hopeful that you will bring more good publications, quality publications in quality journals at international level. All the best wishes for the new year 2021. Thank you very much for giving me this chance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to invite Shri Mahbubul Haq, sir, Honorable Chancellor, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, and Chairman, ERD Foundation, to kindly address our research scholar. Sir.
Good afternoon to everyone. Esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor G.D. Sharma, sir, Advisor USTM, Dr. R.K. Sharma, sir, my colleague, Registrar, Controller, Principal Secretary, and Academic Register, all other officers of the university, deans, HODs, and faculty members, and most importantly, the newly joined research scholars at USTM. First of all, I welcome all the research scholars to USTM. You had many options to join in various universities, but you have identified and selected USTM for your future endeavor. I salute all of you, and I invite all of you to USTM, and that very soon we'll be meeting and we'll be interacting with you in person. The program has been organized online. So I was sharing with my colleague that it must be a physical one, but because of some limitation, it has been organized online. We have many eminent speakers today. I have forgotten to mention their name, and I could not attend the program. I am extremely sorry because I was attending some parents meet here in the school. And now more than 50 parents for another meet, they are waiting. So I thought that this is a moment being a part of this university. I welcome all the research scholars. I must say, at least say hello and convey the greetings of the new year. And I was listening the entire speech of our esteemed vice chancellor who have spent long years in both academic research and administration. And I did not speak about this all such topics, but being the part of this university, I must say that this is the realization of the people behind of this university, that a university can be nicely built up if there is a good research is happening in a university. That was my understanding from last 1.5 years, as we are giving extreme effort for getting the accreditation of NAC. And if you want to get a very good accreditation from a organization like NAC, we have to have a very good research activity, research and innovative activity in the university. We may have a very nice building, we may have a very good, nice, qualified, competent faculty members. And if our students and faculty members are not engaged properly in doing really in research and innovation, the university cannot, you cannot make a popularize and can get a global platform. We are knowing that the world-class institutions, why they are world-class? It is not because of that there is a world-class building. It is because of their research. So you are the future of USTM. I want to say that today you are the family member of USTM. And if we want to make the university's future, we have a small past and we have present. I need not explain about the past. We have a very simple past. And what USTM today, you are all knowing. But today, all the research scholars must think that after 3 years, 4 years, when you will be going out from this university, you have to contribute something in terms of good research. And Professor G.G. Sharma sir has explained nicely that how he can work in this direction. We have many incentives, we have many supportive facilities. We offer seed money, we offer incentives for the good publications. And in some cases, the research scholars will also contribute in teaching learning, which is mandatory as per new education policy. So I think when you will be joining physically, we'll have a more interactions, and you can be associated for the university's growth in the coming days. I am very much happy that this time I have seen many NET qualified and JRF candidates have joined in our university. People actually have a apprehension that if we join to a good central university or institution, we'll have a future. But the future is lying on good research. Even today, if you want to establish that you are a good performer, it will depend for a higher education in the field of higher education, that how, in which paper you have published the paper. What is the contribution in the field of research? It is not that only you are a PhD holder from a central university, you will be getting a job. From a very humble, ordinary university, if your research is excellent and all the criteria and statutory criteria you have fulfilled, you will get a job. So I welcome all of you again and hope that we'll be meeting soon. And my request to all the faculty members who are engaged as a guide for our research scholars, it's my request to all of you that please you guide them nicely, consider them as our family member, so that our research scholar can complete their work within a very short span of time. Why it will be 3 years? It can be only 2 years plus, it may be 2.5 years. Where the good publications are there, if the research scholar have participated, they have given presentation in different national and international seminars, and which has created the impact in the society, I think it will be a big contribution for the growth of USTM. So thank you very much. All the eminent speakers today, they have joined. I am extremely sorry that I could not be the part of this great occasion. I thought that my guardian, Professor G.D. Sharma sir, is there and he's taking care of. So I welcome all of you to this great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request Dr. Bolendra Kumar Das, sir, Director Administration, USTM, to kindly give the vote of thanks for this session, inaugural session. Sir. Bolendra, sir, yes.
Am I audible to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, but we cannot see you, sir.
Yeah, very much. You can't see me.
No,
Why
we are not been able to see you.
Why it is like that? I don't understand it.
We are seeing it.
Okay, fine, sir. Then please do go forward, sir. We can hear you. That's more than enough, sir.
The last screen is there.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I think you can
Yes, sir.
see me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. A very good afternoon to all of you. It's a pleasure, Honorable Chancellor Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Honorable Advisor Sir, dignitaries present over here, the two very eminent speaker, Professor Ajay Kumar Kunmakara from IIT Guwahati and Professor Niranjan Roy from Assam University, Silchar. It's an occasion where we are hosting the aspiring candidates who are here in this university for their research careers. So, first of all, I'm very happy to congratulate all of them and wish them all the best for their research careers. I take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chancellor, Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Honorable Advisor, Sir, and all the deans, all the faculty members, all the officials and staff of this university. But before that, I would like to extend my gratitude to Professor Ajay Kumar Kunnumakra, who is from IIT Guwahati, who had deliberated in depth for the research scholars and given them a direction what they should and what they shouldn't. Later, Professor Niranjan Roy from Assam University, he had said it very categorically that research is meant for the society and for the societal development. So, from the USTM family, we are very much thankful to you both, sir, and we extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for giving this valuable time to this institution, who is an upcoming center of excellence. And for this, all the relevant persons which are associated with this organization, they are leaving no stone unturned to make it a grand success from all points of view. My dear research scholars, who had chosen this university to be a part of this and taking the flag of research to a new height, only one thing I would like to say you, we know that the research is to disapprove lies and uphold truth. So, in the beginning, I had said it that as Professor Ajay Kumar and Professor Dr. Niranjan Roy had put it, we are associated with their terms. And lastly, from USTM family, let us pray that we make USTM a global center of excellence for intellectual creativity. And with these few words, I extend my heartfelt gratitude and vote of thanks to all of you who are present here. Thank you very much.